In the words of Rafiki from The Lion King, it is time. It is time to go back to the movie theater. Time to go see films where they were intended to be seen. Now, what I mean by intended to be seen, I'm talking about films that were made for the big screen. When you look at the idea of a cinematic feature, this word cinematic is batted around quite a bit. The idea of cinematic is the fact that it is of a quality that could be seen in a cinema, in a theater. So when someone says they're going for cinematic quality, that's what they're aiming for on a quality level. So a lot of different television shows, streaming, various people have said they're looking for a cinematic quality. This is one of the reasons why the move to mirrorless and DSL cameras has been so prominent when it comes to creating online content, is because it gives that cinematic quality. So if we're looking for cinematic quality, why not go to the cinema? Well, there has been the pandemic and people are still afraid. But I have been going to the cinema since theaters first reopened. I have been going, and the first thing I went to go see was Bill and Ted Face the Music. Yes, I am a big Bill and Ted fan, and when I heard the film was announced and it got moved and moved, as soon as I learned it was opening in the theater, I was there. In fact, I saw it twice. I wore the mask. We purchased social distances seats. I went with my family members who I knew were staying safe. Even though I was with my family members, I kept my mask on. Yes, I did get some soda and some candy, but I actually noticed that the candy had been wiped down and had been prepared for service, and the person behind the counter was wearing a mask and gloves. I felt secure. I felt secure that I could purchase a ticket, reserve my ticket, and know there'd be spacing, but I was seeing the film as it was intended on the big screen. This is very important for that immersive experience. There is a film called Leon the Professional that there's a great shot in the movie where Leon's escape, he's a hitman. He knows nothing but violence and danger, and he lives in a very gritty world. But his escape is going to a movie theater. He draws himself into that world, but he doesn't just sit in the movie theater. He sits in the very front row, the screen encapsulating his entire vision. It is the widescreen drawing him in. This is what movies were intended to do. Draw you in, let you have some escape, let you have drama, feel someone else's pain, feel someone else's happiness. Let it soak in and make you feel emotions, make you feel where your life could be inspired or where you just empathize with a character. And it's more prominent on the screen. Recently, I had two things that showed me this. Number one was the fact that on the 65th anniversary, I went to the theater because Fathom Events and Turner Classic Movies had the 10 Commandments on the screen. Now, I watch this film every year. It is an immensely amazing epic with visual effects that won an Academy Award and just some great lines in it. And you can even ignore the fact it's a biblical film because it is just an epic drama with visual effects and a good story. But I always notice something new every time I see it on the screen. I saw it for the 60th, I saw it for the 65th. But there was a very interesting trailer that I saw very recently for the finally being released film Black Widow. Okay, the backstory of one of the most popular Avengers in the film series, played by Scarlett Johansson. It had this whole new trailer, it had this whole thing on there, and it is going to open on Disney Plus streaming on the same day it goes to the theater. But even the people promoting it know that the full power's in the screen, because while it said streaming on Disney Plus, it said right next to it, experience it in theaters. So experience it in theaters and stream it on Disney Plus. rewatchability. This is the key to good films and good stories, rewatchability. This is why home theater took off, is because we experienced it in theater and we relived it watching it on TV. And that's the big thing. There is a difference between the big screen and TV. It is the experience. So I'm saying this to you because this weekend I am finally going to get the chance to go see Godzilla versus Kong. And I say finally get the chance. You can look at it and go, but it's been streaming since it opened. Yeah, but it's Godzilla versus Kong, giant monsters on a big screen. Why would I want to experience it first on something that's literally like 1/5 the size of your average movie theater screen? So in the comments, a link to the National Association of Theater Owners Cinema Safe article on what theaters are doing to make sure patrons are safe. So I understand if you want to stay home and you want to stream, but believe me, it's time to go back to the theater.